right, so in the last video, we got movement working. We need to make some changes here though. So right now our move speed is hard coded. We want this to be a variable. So I'm going to go to PlayerBall.h and up here in public, I'm going to create a U property. And this one's actually going to be, I'm going to copy this whole U property for edit anywhere and blueprint read only. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to change this to blueprint read write. And then we're going to create a float. We'll call it roll speed. And I'll set this by default to 20.0f. So this variable roll speed is going to show up in Blueprint so we can edit that roll speed without having to recompile. I'm going to copy roll speed and I'm going to go into my roll function and change the impulse to roll speed. So now when we roll, we can modify the amount of the speed. So maybe we can get a speed boost item, or maybe we're testing and realize it's moving too fast or too slow or something. So let's compile this and see what happens. All right, let's play and I can see I'm moving faster. Cool. And if I go to my player ball, I can see that I have a variable somewhere here for an input for roll speed. Great. Now I'm going to go to my player ball mesh and I'm going to assign it a material. We could have done that at any point. So you can make your own material. I'm going to stick with this tech hex pulse. The other thing is kind of cool. So I'm going to save this. And now when I run it, my ball has material. I think it looks pretty cool. The reason why I chose this one is beyond the glowy thing. It lets us see at how we're spinning. Right now, I'm holding the left key and looking this way, and it is spinning really, 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 really fast without actually doing any movement because of it. We need to limit this behavior somewhat. Also, as we go, we're not getting as much forward momentum as we should, because the ball is slippery. We don't have any friction on here, really. So let's go to our player ball and go to my collision, scroll down to physics, and let's set the linear damping to 0.02, increase that, and our angular damping to 0.02. This makes it so we can change directions a little bit faster. And this adds a little bit of drag to reduce angular movements. We're then going to create a physics material. For that, what is that? What is a physics material? Well, a physics material is a material that we add to our object that doesn't change how it looks. All it does is change how it reacts. So you can set something to be slippery or rough or whatever, where it will behave in the physics engine as if the surface of that object was that kind of material. So for that, I'm going to go to my blueprints and I'm going to create a new folder in here. And it's going to be Phys Materials. Open that up, right click, and I'll look for physics material. And I'm going to select the class. So I'm going to pick right here, physics material. And I'm going to call it PM physics material underscore player ball. I'm going to open this up. So here we can set the friction, static friction, and some other maths here. And I've tested some things out and I've landed on some values that more or less work for us. Friction, set this to 100. Static friction, also set this to 100. For override friction combine mode, turn that on. And friction combine mode, set this to multiply. And that's more or less it. So we're going to save this. I'll close it. And for my player ball, I'm going to go to my sphere collision, go to where I have collision, and physics material override, set that to PM player ball. compile and save. Now her press play. Movement is a little snappier because the ball doesn't slip at all. It is treated as if it's almost like sandpaper, and thus doesn't get slippery if it moves too fast. It's still spinning like a lot, so we're gonna have to fix that. But movement itself is a little bit cleaner. And also, you can see as we're moving around now that the camera settings that we set up earlier are working and giving a kind of more interesting effect where it's drags a little bit. All right, in order to help with that spinning thing, let's open up our PlayerBall, go to our sphere collision, physics, and in here, I'm gonna go down to advanced. Then I'm going to go and where it says max angular velocity, turn that on. I'm gonna set this to, 1,000. This makes it so it can only ever spin at a certain rate. Can't go any faster than that. Save that, press play, compile and save. And now movement is a little more controlled. It still spins kind of crazy, but it's not absolutely insane. This does affect our movement speed, which might be an issue. So we might need to increase our movement speed, but still, it's coming along. And now movement feels a little bit better. That's gonna be it for this video. Relatively short, but we now have playing. Next video, we're gonna set up jump, and then we'll set up some objects after that we can move around and push around, and then we'll learn about how to build out our levels. So that's gonna be it for this one. Thanks.